Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. I'm pa uye madi nara. Anobensu ochede ampadaro ma yenya hodi yenya nkwa na yede adwumedie ebrel bebi biara wo. Mema ankrankra bia akwa aba eba ye adwumedie so eye BWF Solicitors Legal hours so ene we. Mejidi sa bebi biara wo hwe me ho ye na se wo ho ye dia ene mesre we ni die mu bomodia na ka me ho sisi brei enkodo yebebo 11 die ne asori ye na so na mejidi se ye kwawie ye no wo so wodi ewo mu no wonsa beka ne etie ne se everyday bia na BWF solicitors, especially Thursday, Friday, any Saturday, omo the education eba na yensua ade emfiri mu. Ne home office beka, home office dane ne ho, home office kire bibi pe na BWF solicitors ediemreketuo e de abase muntie na ne ebani na yenso yatomo anamo. Enenso Sara ye di topic e mu hwam topic a nkrɔfoɔ ebisabisa nkrɔfoɔ yɛn nso still a dodoɔ na ehu so no ɛne ɛba abɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu ne ama adamufia sɛnea ɛyɛ a sɛ wodeɛ wonyɛ wodeɛ a wobɛhyɛ ase ayɛ no sisi a wayɛ nso na wohu so sɛnea ɛkɔɔyɛ a this is the time a wobɛnya clarification papa na wetumi ehu sɛ wotwɛn anaa wɔ sɛ ɔyɛ ne papa enti ka me ho na yɛnhyɛ aseɛ mfiri ha nkɔ ewieɛ mediane manye na tea ana ofre manye tea nso a megye wo so metwa me ho sema pɛ me bae a na yɛde hyehyɛ so den ɛnkɔ baabi a atwa me meba.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Etefo mesa adamasi biom se ma yetwa ye ho aba na matwen ye mesra wo ba so abomode ana hye ma ye dodo na aba so nyina nya menhyira mo na mo nhye na nkwa chichichichi mo mba kese kra mo mbomode ana mo mfrefra dofo nom se mre na so ye ba be kamera abewe mra acheche mre mu adamre mu na eno na beboa obi nso ba bia obi a ne ho ache no mre mu no obetumi edi ahweso na atwitwa age no enti kame ho ne yenhya ase ne yenko me sama akwa babiom na me introduce me resource person me Mrs. Tabako pe lawyer Eunice me ma akwa ba ebedwumedie so good morning lawyer Eunice.
Good morning my yetsi fashion what to say
Adom nko a oni ahwe ye ye ho ye ankasa se mo nso mo ho ye wo ho
yam yamin shira fast and
eh
then so abeka yensa mama nche for so ene ahwefo. Good morning wo bibiara wa join yen anapa we nkofo mo hwe yen wo YouTube so and say Facebook so nkofo mo tie yen wo BWF radio so enti munina me ma munina good morning. I hope say yam yadom munina mo ho ye yam so ekram wasundre mu and they say aba it's because of the fact say yenemo person yenemo edinkita ho efa ye eVisa but before ebe no na ya kind of bit of update in relation to enyema air costo and of a face so mo person mo friends so we'll have that question and answer session at the end and in conform person mo tie or performance so we'll have somebody speak in English towards the end of the program. Inti medamuni na ase.
Yo, la Eunice yensu yeda se tiefo kakra kan no na yede beto dwa. na Eunice answer na ebe share na ya na won say home office there every day bia no mo de mo work with the clock ni say ke no no so aye ke na je say ya na nsese mu nkitinkiti bi ebe mu na opoto kase mo ebe kase update bi ye nra chi a ye da na otwe mu ye twa ye ho home office aka ne ho bibi mu ana ye update bi ye be pese ebe hu ansa na yakoye main topic ni so mpacho bibi sa wo ho.
I know, say, in regards to Nkrofo Abia Omo Aba on the skilled worker visa. Abia, for instance, Abia Ejumamfo na Omo ne Omo Eye Ejuma na say Omo ama Omo COS no. Abia one reason or the other no. Omo ntumi ama Omo Ejuma. Abia je license ne free Ejumamfo no ho. Ana krampo say Ejumamfo no aka say nipa kon na amba Ejuma nti omo report say sa nipa kono a okita COS ne say because one be adwuma ne nti ye gi COS no efri ne nsem ana say ye gi ne asetena na efri ne nsem nti no eba ne sa they will usually cancel your leave nti nkofo a bia enye omo fort na adwumfo na lose omo license no mama omo 60 days say omo pay kwan foforo a omo de be ya asetena e wo kom ha. So to start, usually 60 days no is not enough for people to be able to should I say switch and I say omo to me enya kwan foforo bi enya asetena ewo krom ha. In Sebanesa, people begin to panic and then they try and find ways and means to buy a bit more time in terms of omo asetena omo pese omo nya ewo krom ha. Into sometimes ebi mu able to near a human rights application. Ebi mu so if they are not able to do a human rights application, ebi ana omo aye fee waiver. Into endra na ye penny air can crofra. Elmo use fee waiver as a means to buy time and the consequences of that. And sometimes no, so we fee waiver now. You would have a period of about 6 months or more before Omode and Boye Ebeba because there are so many fee waiver applications and there's a backlog in seal. Home Office for now can say it will take them much longer to decide on those fee waiver applications. And also, no, obi a we skilled worker, who collect a fee waiver application now, you should usually have a human rights claim and answer because of our family and now private life wo chrome haninti and until now person yes a fee waiver application no. And most times either say skilled worker no or non-independent, which is nukunu and asa neba and ebaye. And I say most times ononkwa and ebaye. And if the case is that only the dependent nearby dear, then it means say the independent no senior the same as it's now as or no. Inti the dependent is neither British or has settled status most times, oh yes, human rights applications, they would usually look at the family which is either the husband or the child, and the fact that a kolana and I say ikuno and I say yereno ewo British citizenship and I say settled status and I indefinite leave ewo krumha. So it's almost share with private life. Private life no so they expect say either say what's not Chrome have for 20 years and now say what's not have less than 20 years there and the instance and so be wa untumi and san call back to Chrome now with free no. Into say oh your application now they are looking at this in the meantime to say okay because of we claim Ninty yeah mouth fee waiver but unfortunately, most people do not meet the requirements for an Article 8 and that's a family or human rights application. But almost person will fee waiver just to buy time. And so what your application be a home officer, there was always a declaration to state say their share form no so no cre nti sɛ deɛ wɔde ahyɛ form no so no ɛnyɛ nokorɛ a it is known as deception anaasɛ wotwa ntorɔ anaasɛ woamfa correct information na amma ɔmo nti sɛ na wonim ɛna woma ɔmo incorrect information as to the basis of your application deɛ a wokɔyɛ subsequent application deɛ a ɔmo bɛka sɛ oh yɛhu sɛ woyɛ fee waiver application but And on the way you saw find a human rights application. It's that internet one fa sa fee waiver nine year human rights application. And also bet to me I year and so ama form yes applications way. And see so wouldn't himself a year human rights application and now be after the fee waiver dia and the patrol brave men no. But to also state clearly say if you are in this situation, why a fee waiver application, and you know say ebia nyama wo pese ode toto ho no in terms of the fact that you want to put in a human rights application. Yeah, usually I know said they will expect that within 10 days of them bringing their decision, no, you would have to make that application and see as much as possible, no, put in the application and then buy time in terms of for biometric appointments because of the fact that ABI documents nina and buy and into you want to be able to make sure say oh the application betum within that 10 days so that your time doesn't run out. Into way na me say it's here for a channel so now at least someone who say na air call.
I see. La Eunice ebedas na che say senior tie bia no say wopɛ sɛ such application na wonyɛ sure ana wonnim nsusuanso ɛbɛba so in the future no. But Modiana seek legal advice first and sana. Yeah, especially the skill workers na buy na yabegum bebre na afi ahokyere twetwen yɛn because one way or the other some of our sponsors no omo way ya revoke omo license or anasi ya suspend omo license ne ade no ama yɛn ho dere yɛn ne yɛka asɛm bi a labor ɛba no ɔba bɛka sɛ o 60 days no at least yɛnyɛ ne 6 months mpo na nka at least 6 months deɛ biribiara tumi si na 60 days paa deɛ wodidi koraa wobɛdi awie ansa na 60 days na aba na kyɛ sɛ ɛsu ankasa yɛbɛka Lawyer Eunice membisa question bi wɔ sɛ nea wokaeɛ especially for my skill workers obi na sebio skill workers yi ne company no yegu no ye revoke omo license na ya ma mo saa 60 days no say ɔmfa nkɔ na ɔhwɛ a ɔno ne busuafo a ɔde ɔmo ba ne yere ne mma miɛnsa kyerɛ ha adwen sɛ ɔmo san soa ɔmo ho sɛ ɔmo nya switch a na ɔsɛ ɔmo kɔ ha adwen ankasa ɛna obi adom no sɛ ɛnyɛ hwee mewɔ shop bi wɔ ha na obetumi abɛyɛ nkakra ne yere ne deɛ ɔyɛ adwuma alright but yɛ revoke yɛ no ne yere ne deɛ ɔngyae ne adwuma ɔda so yɛ ne adwuma bɔ ne main applicant no ɛna ɔntumi ɛnyɛ adwuma bio ne ɛbaa ne sɛ sisi ano ɔne shop bi ɛyɛ adwuma na nkagya yɛ akatakata nneɛma so na yɛ at the end of the day wenya kakra na ɔmo de ahwɛ ɔmo pɛ 60 days na ama 60 days na ɛm sɛ apa ho wei na efikɛseɛ mu akɔ akɔsoa aberanteɛ yi sɛ hwan na report no sɛ dan o ya bɛkye no sɛ ɔne obi ntoma ɛfrafra ne ho ɛwɔ adwuma mu hɔ ɛma yɛakye no yɛkyee no akɔyɛ nsɛm pii ohu nea ɔnyɛ ne ho yɛama ne day sɛ ɔmmra mbɛ report ɛwɔ efikɛseɛ mu hɔ because n'adeɛ no nka ɔsɛ ɔkɔ fie ewu na ɔsɛ ɔkɔ fie sisi a na obi saa no ɛdan na ɔbɛtumi ayɛ nkwadaa no kɔ school alright ne yere nso yɛ nkakra de boa fie bibi wɔ ho a ɔbɛtumi ayɛ afa wɔn no asɛ kɛn ni ɔsɛ ɔmo kɔ fie.
In terms of that scenario, at least or nkola ewo krom ha, and see he can use that as a basis to say or nkola mo krom ha, so osho that would at least I know say it's not based on your immigration rules, but it's a human rights claim because he has a right to family life. And say over to me you say no as a basis because social your immigration rules now it will say the child has to be either be British and not say settled and not so cry indefinite leave and not say with these 7 years ewo krom ha. And I know that he will not meet any of those requirements.
That be.
In the meantime, if he's making such a claim, he'll be making it outside the immigration rules. And he should still go on and make that human rights claim based on Nembana Omowo Krumha. And then at least it gives him some time to be able to go and report and all of that. But I'm sure say, they would let him report, but they will expect that he will also be doing um some, what you call it, applications in regards to no. And so he's just putting that human rights claim, not to say Wamba Ewo Kromha. In that way, he will be buying himself more time.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Inti na but ya chi no say odi obi foforo ntuma na afra no. Eno say nde enye papa wo ho. Ana
Obviously.
Susanso bi amba no because wo ye adwuma mu won ya beso mu se wo ya abna
Yeah.
mensa. Mehu a ye kohwe wo nkrata mu ye kodwominta inti no ebe
Yeah.
ye den.
Obviously, in terms of a Jumane dear, he was
Mhm.
using false representation.
Mm.
In terms of immigration, dear, one car said he was this person. And he's not going to be seen to be using deception. But in terms of a Jumane dear, it's a criminal matter.
Mm.
If they choose to charge him on a criminal basis, that will be a separate issue.
Hey, nkurɔfo ohu amane o lawyer Eunice, nkurɔfo
Yeah,
ohu amane paa na
yeah,
ɛyɛ na ɛha adwen sɛnea
yeah,
ɛteɛ no. Okay,
yeah.
yɛnkɔ yɛnim na ɛnɛ yɛn discussing yɛn topic no. I know say people got questions based on saa scenario a mede abɛto so yi. Ɛkɔ na ɛno ansɛ mɛka sɛ ɔmo nyɛ ahwɛ yie na nsɛn wokɔgye adwuma a na ɛno a sɛ fa wo wode wei no koraa kɔ a yɛka no sɛ share code ne kɔ koraa a they still want to have your passport or your picture. Nti no ya no mpɛ sɛ wo print the first visa no permit no a w'anim da so photo no. They want you to present that one with the share code and sana yɛagye w'adwuma ɛna nkurɔfo a de nkurɔfo bebree ntoma ɛfrafra no ama no ɛha adwen ɛnyɛ ɔmo fault na companies no nso ɛnyɛ ɔmo fault. Companies no sisi a yɛsɔw mu na wagye obi a onni asetena a ɛka no dɔɔso etumi gu adwuma nti wo nso wobɛhwɛ ama nipa baako nti w'adwuma bɛgu anaa. So it's like the whole place na ayɛ kwesimentim style bi saa no. So hu adeɛ no ɛno asɛ ɛbɛyɛ yɛn ahwɛ yie na we yankɔtɔ nsɔhwɛ bi sɛ mu. Lɔ Eunice yɛnkɔ sɛ nɛ yɛn topic a yɛde abɛto dwa no yɛsi, do I need a biometric resident permit to apply for an eVisa? Now, na home office, every time bia home office, or de bibi foforo beba no, onfiti preko pe na ompri ni krom na mom ohya ase nkakra na obo hu dewro. Na yen so ja lawyers fo a moye adwuma no nso no, mo nso se ade ne ba se ya mutumi bo hu dewro sa kwa remember ye can say Brexit you for Brexit ebaye. She number of days and effort I had put in just to notify the public and educate the public about this Brexit and what you need to do before 2020 now and after 2020. My grace period. Sounds sooner. I mean, bebre abesenko ebikurani students in swa. Yɛbɛgye ɔmo ɛbɛkate ɔmo dependent visa ne tinton afei yɛkate yɛ no nso no afei yɛse dɛn wenwie school na wo soso a wontumi nswitch to skill migrant ɛno so yɛbɔ ho dewura dakoro yɛ sɔre pɛ kpi na abɛsena akɔ wei nso so aba visa no yɛnim sɛ sɛnea wiase kɔ no they want to do everything to say contactless bibia touch and go bibia like person handle even any documentation with you anymore now on you anymore and I say okay either say when in now they are share camera mu kpakpakpa now who information nyina be go now sen and I say we tamp now they are tab bibi so pe na bibia be sen na chese wo sen. Enti omasha say with eVisa ye nyina nim say we have majority biometric cards biometric resident card permit and as a biometric you can say resident card either BRC or BRP emo baako obiara de ne de nam sisi a na ban si bibia ba ye friend eVisa ya bebo hu de ro da na ene me question na me de ba no say eVisa yi kra ye keka ho asem se me hia me ni biometric card a metumi me susu metumi apply for eVisa na say me de emfa me ho me ni bi ni nti no omo card na ye se omo nkoye na me su me ni biometric card na me kita old system old ade lai momo me kita mo a then na me so me o say me so me apply for eVisa na bi eno na makotwe sa question aba na lawyer Eunice ene ye entwetwe emo ontietire mu na ontinitini mu ma ye na ye hu nti lawyer Eunice, do I need a biometric resident permit to apply for an eVisa aba ye nyina ye hwe ye apply bi na na patwa daroma cheche mu na ye hu question bi wo ha na ebisa wo.
Okay, nti senya wode amaitiefo akyerɛkyerɛ mu senya adeɛ no teɛ no, of course yɛda so wɔ nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo kita passport a ɔmo nkura biometric residence permits. Nti saa nkurɔfoɔ wei nso so ɔmo bɛyɛ den. In terms of the question no deɛ, of course, yes, wobɛhia biometric residence permit to be able to do this e-visa. And I would say nkurɔfoɔ a, for instance ɔmo nim their eVisa no ɛyɛ eVisa no ɛyɛ online record of wo immigration status a wowɔ ɛwɔ home office for nsɛm, but wankasa nso wobɛtumi ahwɛ saa online record no a ɔmo wɔ about you. Nti saa eVisa no ɛyɛ online. Nti sɛ woyɛ obi a, for instance yɛnka ne sɛ wonhyɛ da nnim computer mu, wonhyɛ da nnim online nneɛma mu. This is something to say home office pɛ sɛ ɔmo de biribiara ɛto record so in terms of nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo aba kurom ha, immigrants ɔmo aba kurom ha, ɔmo asetena. Nti sɛ woyɛ application a ɔmo ma wo grant of leave, either sɛ woyɛ family partner anaasɛ parents anaasɛ skilled worker anaa koraa mpo sɛ student, they would usually give you a grant of leave. Ɛno no ɔmo bɛtwerɛ wɔ letter no mu sɛ yɛama wo asetena from date way to date way. Biometric card no nso ɛyɛ biribi a ɔmo de ma, but sisi a ɔmo aka sɛ biometric residence permits ɛne even the biometric residence cards na nkurɔfoɔ ɛwɔ no, they will all they will stop issuing those from the 31st of December 2024. Into from the 1st of January 2025 no, they will no longer issue those cards. And almost announcements so about in terms of the fact that when it comes to nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ replacement biometric cards into ebi a wo card no ayera anaasɛ ebi a wo card no wopɛ sɛ wo switch it from wo EU settlement scheme to from the old EU card to the EU settlement scheme, and no saa no, you would have to keep hold of the old one, no, because they will want to stop issuing it in terms of nkurɔfoɔ pɛ sɛ ɔmo nya new cards, no. And most of the time no, nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo ɛwɔ saa old EU cards no, they would already have had that EU settlement scheme online immigration record. Nti ɔmo deɛ, because of the fact say na Brexit na na home office for no ɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ biribi a online nti sɛ woyɛ EU national anaasɛ EU family member deɛ a ɛho hia sɛ wobɛyɛ eVisa, because wo no woyɛ application no using that online process a ɔmo bɛtwa wo photo anaasɛ ɔmo bɛscanne w'anim. Nti ɛno no saa no, wo records nyinaa ɛwɔ online. Nti nkurɔfoɔ a wɔyɛ EU nationals ne EU abusuafoɔ deɛ, they are not part of this eVisa scheme a aba. It is only those who have biometric residence permits na yɛka ho asɛm yi. And so when it comes to those who have these biometric residence permits, yeah, they are saying, say, you must create an online account where to me edible information in regards to leave no ashare. Nti nkofo bebre say me wo card ne chere ma setna nkurɔfoɔ nte aseɛ deɛ nti a card no coming to an end on the 31st anaasɛ wɔn card no ɛrewu 31st December 2024. It's just because government no ɛmpɛ sɛ wɔn bɛuse card no anymore. Nti sɛ wɔn ma wo letter sɛ yɛama wo asetena sei a, keep that letter, but more so almost per se bibia eco digital na say almost per se bibia online into almost per se jai physical card ni use na use nyama ewo omo records no so and answer omo system no so into no nsi na omo de sa eVisa way aba senya obi biara se wokoye adwuma o se wohwehwe bibia rent o se wokɔ hospital o baby biara wobɛkɔ biara no sɛ ɔmo bisa for w'asetena a ɛno ne sɛ wode wo information na ɛwɔ wo UKVI account no ama ɔmo nti dɛn ne UKVI account nti UKVI account ɛyɛ UK Visas and Immigration for ɔmo account anaasɛ system a ɔmo wɔ a wobɛtumi a register ahwɛ wo immigration status a wowɔ ɛwɔ kurom ha. Nti ɔmo abɔde rules saa sɛ nkurɔfoɔ register for a UKVI account. With a UKVI account no wobɛtumi access wo eVisa. But ɔmo pɛ sɛ wo register. Nti ɛsɛ wo register with wo din wo identification. Either sɛ wode wo biometric residence permit ɛbɛyɛ. I know say nkurɔfoɔ adwene sɛ passports no nso ka ho, but unfortunately passports ɛnka ho bi because no matter whether you have a biometric passport or a normal passport, unfortunately it's only nkurɔfoɔ na ɔmo wɔ EU no mu na ɔmo tumi use ɔmo passport no ɛde yɛ saa EU settlement scheme. But when it comes to non-EU nationals, unfortunately no passports no ɛnka ho bi. And the reason they have done that is because they are not able to ascertain obi biara or your third country national no onto their system into your parliament and I say nkurɔfoɔ a gyina hɔ ma yɛn no just last month no Liberal Democrat MP Daisy Cooper ebisa your UKVI minister Miss Mama Haltra say in terms of nkurɔfoɔ a kita saa passports ebia ɔmo wɔ wet ink stamp esi so say ɔmo wɔ indefinite anaasɛ ɔmo wɔ vignette to say yama ɔmo indefinite leave to remain in the UK no ɔmo bɛyɛ den. Is it that sɛ kyenkyene sɛ ɔmo nya biometric permit ni bi ansa na ɔmo ayɛ eVisa na ana? And her response was that when it comes to nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo wɔ passports with the wet ink stamp anaasɛ vignette no, sɛ ɔmo yɛ biribi a yɛfrɛ no no time limit application. Nti obi behu me last week. Ɔsɛ watry saa sɛ ɔuse ne passport ɛde ayɛ saa eVisa because otu kwan by November ɔbɛba back next year February. Nti menyɛ eVisa no ma no. And I said to him, I don't think it's very possible with passports, no. And so I sat down with him to show him that it's not possible with the passport. And so we call through. Now you access eVisa. Usually they'll ask you what form of identification you're using. Is it passport, biometric card, or identification, national identification card? And yeah, there was no way we could do it with a passport. And so information about back say if you are using a passport, unfortunately, you would need to have it done in another way. And so Mekasha say, and you're possible. And so you have to definitely do a no time limit application. And so the card ebe bro. And so the card ne bro dear and the ube to me aye sa eVisa way ka ho asemi. Nti meka kyerɛ ne sa na wayɛ bit sad because we're planning a trip, we're turning tickets or call Ghana or we're back next year. And in regards to response na Sima Emma, she said, of course, when it comes to Nkrofo Mukisa passports way dear, they have to be able to do that no time limit application to get the e-visa, I mean the biometric permit to get the e-visa. But it may happen, say, Nkrofo Crampo ente e-visa way. And see if they haven't heard about this e-visa scheme, air cost dear, then of course they can still travel with almost passports na ewo sa wet ink stamp no, so that they can travel in and out as they would normally, because it will happen to say the way I who can say EU phone ebi yebo hu de rosa ebi mute ebi muso ante. I mean, after Brexit, they gave another 6 months grace period. Even after grace period, no cramp no, now still in Crawford and say, and see with the response na Sima Emma, it is to do with the fact that when it comes to in Crawford passports way ever wet ink stamps no, then it means say there will still be those people who haven't heard or who don't know crampo say someone to me sa e-visa no. So it would mean say if all biometric cards have to come to an end by 31st December 2024, dear, then they should be able to continue using passports no in the way that they've always used it. Otherwise, say Kobane say to me any biometric permits dear and dear to me any in visa, which would be a detriment to them, and they don't want that to happen. And see the response now see my mind, and so a very good response in regards to saa nkurɔfoɔ no a kita passport ne kɛkɛ, because sɛ nanka yɛ e-visa ne pɛ na ebi a edwumamfoɔ no ɛbɛhwɛ anaasɛ nkurɔfoɔ a rent dan no ɛbɛhwɛ anaa koraa mpo sɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔ hospital anaasɛ biribi saa no, sɛ ɛyɛ no nko ara na bɛhwɛ deɛ a na anka ɛbɛha nkurɔfoɔ bebree, because even with guidance na home office no de ama yɛ adwumamfoɔ no ne nkurɔfoɔ a wɔyɛ estate agents a rent no, within the guidance it states specifically nneɛma a ɛyɛ sɛ wɔhwɛ in regards to saa yɛ nkrataa no a yɛwɔ no. So yes, they want to be able to have a share code, because e-visa no owa over to me a share code normal say okay wasitna no up to abia 2026 into over to me ayejuma saying almost liable for harboring obia or illegal ewo krom ha into no sano say only e-visa, then you can obviously share a code for them to look at your status now or ewo krom ha. But at least so our passport of course ukra British passport can't e-visa no home because we are British need see we are krom he need only issue with a but say ukra their country national passport to say Ghana passports now biometric card no ewu. I mean, biometric permits from the 31st of December 2020 there. And there they will expect say at least over to me a share code in regards to what sitting now or ha. But also there will be people who don't have e-visa not to share code into almost passports no and be used to, and it makes reference to the fact that you can show by way of reference or ID, either with national identification card and as a biometric residence permit. And now crampo say wo passport na was wet ink stamp no woman as a vignette no no. Then you can be able to use that as a means to say okay me was sitting now chrome ha into enya dia to me aka say mean to me enye dwuma na say mean to me rent dan and as a bibisa into it was a very good response in regards to sa response na sima Emma in regards to for omuni biometric residence permits no, so that they'll be able to use that as a way to continue living in the UK. I'm not sure the number and I said the percentage of Nkrofo what's our passport no with the wet ink stamps, but I'm sure say it might be a very few number of people. And see when it comes to and no, they are not so worried. Say and no will create an imbalance in the system, but going forward, no, they expect say biometric permit money now more biometric permits, no, you will be able to come onto the eVisa. I know the onwa can as a requirement because say biometric permits now when to me and register to the eVisa dear to find there a very difficult say overtime back because here and no to be able to look at your immigration status. And so the only people who now seem to be given an allowance nkurɔfoɔ no a wɔwɔ indefinite leave to remain stamped in their passports a wɔnni biometric residence permit. Nti ɛno no saa no sɛ woyɛ obi a wowɔ saa biometric residence permit ne deɛ a ɛndeɛ sɛ wohyɛ ne nso na wotumi yɛ saa e-visa no na at least sɛ wotu kwan kora mpo no a wonim sɛ woayɛ nti woba back a na nneɛma ayɛ easy ama wo wɔ airport no. Nti sɛ wodwen sɛ okay menim online adeɛ wei ɛyɛ yɛpanin no aka sɛ mombra na yɛnyɛ ma wo sɛ wofa ne no difficult na wonim sɛ okay ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ebi a wobɛtumi aba a then at least try and find somebody who is able to help you because sɛ woanyɛ saa e-visa online account in there, then it will make things much more difficult because the expectation is say obey e-visa no now it's me a share code now it's me to coin now it's me a yama ASL to me ye nina inti wake kakra and I may walk MIT for and so I hope say at least able to me abo be or share program na so be I'll wait see you later.
Yo, la Eunice, medase. Wede mema onfa nsuo kakra ngu mmiri mu na mama akasa ache. Tiefo na hwefo. Senior la Eunice acheche mu no. Megide se embia na wadwen aye ontanta. Bibi wo ho a still a o share da entiase yi. Don't worry. Mema wakonya na webisa wo question. Enche bia mebie telephone lines no nso de atum na wetumi afrɛ ana wa send message e de aba WhatsApp line ne so ana mpo betumi voice note eno nso e de aba na mabo ama Eunice. Eunice o kano sisi ano yenya atiase na yemfa ne sɛ ana sɛ menti asie mu a megide sɛ obi foforo nso bɛka me ho no. Sɛ me wɔ saa vignette ni bia na me wɔ all time saa indefinite leave ana stamp ink deɛ na yɛde tell mu first no. Sɛ ebi na da so me passport mu a ɛno no answer na metumi ayi visa because e-visa ne sɛ ne etie bia o sɛ obi ɛyɛ just according to what you've said no just say bia sɛ wonya nya na sɛ wante ana sɛ wunnim po na ekoba ne sɛ okita old passport ne bi na wotu kwan a kwani de obetumi ato na ba na ya na enya nsunsuanso obenya like obe face difficult before entering because of say wonye yi visa no patcho say sa eho no sa na tie so obe face difficulty kakra na nso no if you kese mu aka chance at least omo ma untwem na be ya wo yi visa me na me ka ne sa na say o say wo ye sa eVisa na okita indefinite na ni biometric card ni bi no. Then what you need to do ni say first obetumi apply for no there ben or say no limits
No time limits.
no time limit application no time limit application eno no we ya na say wo indefinite into we ya no ma braille card similar to biometric card ni bi so one there no. Now the no fig amode numbers bi gu so nti saa numbers no ana letters na keke ka ho no na wo de be apply for your e-visa na che se wo de ho so na se ba ni se wanye saa no time limit application ni bi na wo di saa old passport ni tu kwan na wo ba after 2023 2024 year ye betumi asan wo ana se ntumi nsan wo ana e be ka se one tinti no wo de be senko I mean ho no nkurɔfoɔ adwen ɛyɛ ɔmo style bi kakra. Yɛbɛtumi aka
Okay.
sɛ daabi ɛma ɔnwerɛ mu anaa?
Okay, so I was saying, say, in Krofona, omo kita sa no time. I mean, vignette in the passport, and
Mm,
I say wet ink in the passport. No, omo no, they are exempted in terms of this e-visa
okay.
because yeah, Minister for UK Immigration Visas and Immigration, SEMA
Mm,
Malhotra, or say when it comes to San Crawford, you know, of course they can make a no time limit application.
okay.
Ɔmo bɛnya saa permit no ɛde ayɛ e-visa no. But sɛ
Mm,
ɛba ne sɛ ɔmo ntumi anyɛ saa
fine,
no
yeah.
limit before
Mm,
31st December 2024 deɛ ɔmo
mm,
bɛtumi akɔ so a ayi so ɔmo passport no with the wet ink stamp no wɔ mu. But sɛ
okay.
wokita biometric permit ne deɛ which is the card
Mm,
deɛ and there
mm.
it is a must sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ
Ɔsɛ
woyɛ
wei
e-visa otherwise wo ho bɛkyerɛw. Yeah.
paa.
Yeah.
I see. Na wohwɛ mu nso a, saa ɔmo a ɔmo kita wet ink no, those visas no yɛmaa yɛ akyɛ. Nti wohwɛ mu a kora ɛnnɔɔso wɔ system no mu saa because passport na last akyɛ yɛ 10 years. Ɛna ɔmo a those time a yɛuse saa wet ink anaasɛ vignette no, megye di sɛ 10 years ba. I stand to be corrected. 10 years ba. Nti dodoɔ naa change ɔmo passport. Ɛna ɔmo a ɔmo change ɔmo passport no, bi mu na ɔmo asa akɔgye stamp no abom biom. Anaasɛ bi mu de ataache yɛka ne sɛn ɔmo new passport na ɔmo akɔgye no. Nti wɔn nso kita passport mmienu anaa mmiɛnsa na ɛtaataa so nso baako pɛ ɛna visa saa adeɛ no ɛbom. We have people in the system like that. Nti sɛ
Mm,
wofɔle under this circumstance na ɛnɛ lawyer Eunice akyerɛkyerɛ sɛ sei na ɛteɛ na mmom to me no wotie yɛnhyɛ program no na obi a onim no ohu no no nso nkɔ apply for no time limit na no time limit application yɛgye sika kɛseɛ mbia obi bɛka sɛ sika no deɛ oni bi nti no ɔntumi nyɛ ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ ɔde ma lawyer nso anaasɛ it's very simple straightforward a wobɛtumi ayɛ wankasa ɛwɔ online anaa.
in regards to no time limit application, there is no fee whatsoever. Home Office no I any free. But so oh yeah, they require evidence to show say be a when you're indefinite 10 years ago. They want to see say you have remained in the UK since that time. It says so to me providing proof of address
Mm,
from time now when you're indefinite no up to
mm,
now into say when you're indefinite 10 years ago dear you have to provide evidence for every year up to now to be able to let them know say na woda so at a chrome ha into fa wo indefinite na emma or card no so.
I see. Okay, lawyer Eunice, na sisi a no e-visa no nkurɔfoɔ apply ebi mo deɛ ɔmo yɛ a na ɛkyɛ ɔmo nya feedback ne ntam
Mm.
nti no ɛno no time wɔ ho anaasɛ wo deɛ wa apply sɛ aba o ɛmbaeɛ o yinim sɛ wayɛ application no nti sɛ result mbaeɛ a sometimes ka ɔbɛyɛ deɛ hu sɛ wayɛ successful application anaasɛ
Mm.
woyɛ a na screen aka kyerɛ sɛ you've made a successful application na afei wote hɔ na wɔtwɛn time da ho ana mpatwɔ.
I know, sir, when it comes to registering on the UKVI accounts, no, in Bebre, yes, application, no, and once they've submitted everything, no, they expect that immediately, picture, ne, immigration status, ABA, may will leave to remain up to 5th November 2025.
Mm,
But ebi mu wɔ hɔ a still na saa information no ɛmbaeɛ nti they get worried
mhm,
and
mm.
the home office are still working on nkurɔfoɔ a ɛwɔ wɔn system no so. They've
Mhm,
said sɛ obi biara sisi adeɛ obi biara a ɔkita biometric residence permit no
mm,
ebetumi ayɛ saa access to your e-visa. Nti sɛ
mm,
woyɛ na wo photo number ebi a 2 days later wo san kɔ so biom to see say
mm,
and buy it. If that is the case, obviously you would have to keep waiting because they are still working on their system. But your
mm,
charity you're from 3 million. They've
mm,
said that if people are having issues with the e-visa, almost report it to them. And we as immigration solicitors as well, we have a group called the ILPA. Also, and also have said, say, if people are having issues with registering for the e-visa, or they're having issues with viewing immigration status, no, then they should also report the feedback to them. Send your also ebe gather all of that information and then report it back to the home office. And to say, if you still have issues, I would say go on the 3 million website or the ILPA to report issues with the e-visa. Saying I'm collating in Ediama home
Mm.
office no, before the 31st of December 2024.
Mate, yɛaka ne dɛdɛɛdɛ o, nso no wobɛhu nkurɔfoɔ ɛnte saa 3 million yi korɔ, ɔbɛfo sɛ sika bi na wopɛ sɛ wokyɛ. Dodoɔ naa yɛyɛ a na ɛnyɛ yɛnte aseɛ sɛbio yɛte asɛm foforɔ no a yɛntie ne yie na afei na yɛka yɛse lɛyɛ ne sika sɛ ɛyɛ charity organisation yɛfrɛ mo 3 million wokɔ mo website na wontumi nyɛ saa yivisa yi kɔ na kɔhu ɔmo kwan a ɔmbɛtumi afa so de aboa wo no anaasɛ ILPA foɔ no nso saa ɔmobɛkoleti problems a ɛkɔ yi visa no nyinaa de akɔma afikɛseɛ mu sei na nkurɔfoɔ ɛfa ne difficulty na ɔma asiesie saa deɛ no nkurɔfoɔ aba yɛka ne sɛn fidie no so dodoɔ no wɔ so obi bisa nama mɛbɔ nama ɛnkyɛ bia mɛbɔ nama just give me 2 minutes pɛ mɛbɔ nama no de ama wo na watumi afrɛ la Eunice sɛ woyɛ saa UKVI adeɛ no anaasɛ gov UK wokɔ so na wo mbia wa apply wayɛ biribi te sɛ wopɛ sɛ wohu wokita card no na wode ayɛ na sɛ saa photo na ɛba so sɛ mbia this person can work mbia wopɛ share code nti ɔbɛka sɛ yɛ account no woyɛ a na ɛdi kan ama wo sɛ you are permitted to work saa awo photo ba so ne ada ɛno ane yi visa na anaasɛ after you've done that no before you apply again for the yi visa anaasɛ sɛ wode wobɔ wo status wode wo card no ɛkɔ gov site hɔ now account na ɛwɔ hɔ no wayɛ na wode hyɛ mu you feed the information no pɛ na ɛba wo photo bɛda hɔ kama na wo sɛ ɔsɛ masi wei yɛwo ne seesei na wo photo da hɔ na you are permitted to work and now you can work a mpatwɛ ɛno ane yi visa no ana
Okay, and see, when it comes to your UKVI account creation, no,
Mhm,
government, like I said, you first of all need to create that UKVI account because of your process. Want to
mhm,
me, any of e-visa nessa.
mhm,
They say you have to create a UKVI account. Into
mhm,
creating the account, no, will mean say you will have to put in your identification details. And so usually
mhm.
the first thing they will ask is that you should have an email and contact number available
Yeah.
or mobile to me at their contact or if
Mhm,
anything. And so they'll ask whether you want to use a passport or a biometric residence permit. And so we'll click a biometric residence permit no so it will be so for biometric residence permit number. A besan so be so for date of birth, within any date of birth, and then it will ask you to be able to put it in again and then put in your email address, put in your telephone number into oh yes I really know. Then it will ask you to now go ahead and then complete certain parts of the application. Until now you've put in your details, it has registered you to the UKVI account. Now you are actually going to complete the um, application to be able to access your e-visa. And so it will ask you things to do with your location, baby or UK Hanum and that's only UK Hanum. It will
mhm,
ask you information in regards to whether you are somebody who is currently with which visa route you're on. And then it will ask you to do a facial scan on
mm,
an app.
mhm,
And once you've done the facial scanning, it will ask you to take a photograph. And then
mhm,
once you've done that, they will ask you things to do with your criminal record or whatever it is.
mm,
With that information in a then it will then tell you that you should submit. once you've submitted the application, no,
Mhm.
then it will go ahead and tell you that you've submitted it. Your
Mhm.
email will show say
Yeah.
what's say
Mhm.
application. No.
Mhm.
Once that has been submitted, you give it a bit of time. Now,
Mhm.
once I logging in. Usually, when you're logging back in, you can use the link in your email and say,
Mm.
you say what submit say
Mhm.
application or almost send you a link for
Mhm.
so you will be able to access your immigration record. And
Mm.
see, you can use the link in your email to go ahead and log in again. And
Mhm.
see, that link no, ebe sign ebisa for wo
Mhm.
biometric residence permit details. And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
ne ebisa for wo biometric residence number, wo din, and wo date of birth. Wo de
Mhm.
shema ebe send the code to either your email or to your phone
Mhm.
number.
Mm.
The code, Ashim. And then
Mhm.
it will come up with a photograph of
Of
yourself
you. Mhm.
and your immigration status, ABA,
Mhm.
or leave to remain.
Mhm.
It will come up with that. And
Mhm.
then you can then go on and share the
Apply.
code. Yes,
Okay.
into if somebody's asking for a code,
Mhm.
you can apply for a share code to be
Mhm.
given to whichever third party needs
Mm.
it. Into will eVisa not is the completed process that has taken place, which shows
Mhm.
your photograph of yourself and will assist na will ever chrome
Mm.
and you need eVisa no. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Enti process na go through na we na ebeto. So straightforward say we call gov site ne so na government UK ne so na oh yeah. I think say straightforward. Just say sebi o. Yenum bi no ya brofo no yentia se na say we can either read nor write. Enti when he open the screen is na ni atwotwo ho ni nyina ya na yenim ni opa akire. Eba ne saa na wote sɛ me na me mentumi nkenkan mesrɛ w'ani die mu wobɛtumi ahu obi a ɔno ohunim akenkan anaa mo mma bebree a wɔ mo kurom hɔ a borɔfo no deɛ ɔmɔrate no kama ɔmɛtumi aboa wo ama woayɛ anaa mpo wobɛtumi akɔhu BWF Solicitors for ɔmɛtumi nso ne wo ayɛ I try sɛ nnora na meboa nkurɔfoɔ bi ne ɛyɛ no wɔ Zoom ɔmɛsere saa meyɛ no wɔ Zoom akyerɛ ɔmo nti no ɔmo a follow step by step is straightforward woyɛ no nyinaa wie na wo photo no ba nti ɛyɛ a na baabi a yɛscan wɔ anim ahwɛ sɛ ɛyɛ a na mogyina a plain background bi na ɛtwa ne kama ade no yɛ te sɛ caricature bi but then it's able to capture your face and then match it to what you have in the system and no ano na yɛ if you are still facing problems ɛna lawyer Eunice ama yɛn 3 million kɔ 3 million website ne so 3 million saa na yɛfrɛ ɔmo kɔ ɔmo anaasɛ go and see the ILPA for the ILPA saa na mebɔ ne saa meyɛ right ana
That's
ILPA
fine.
ana IPA okay wokɔ ɔmo hɔ a ɔmo nso ɔmbɛtu aboa mo a mo aba so memfa nkyɛ akɛseɛ ɛmma mo me nuabaa mama Helena ɔsi good morning and Manyeti and Lawyer Eunice. Stay blessed. Oh, blessing it, dear me, papa. Me that say, Tilly, do man so say hello, lovely family. Tilly, it is saying na obubo roko na kama. Auntie Helena say thank you for the educative program and dedication to the community. And pa, ade we dear. Trust me, undo community na obeto adwemu ada. Obese na omo hu omo ehu a me de me fa ho ben nanso the love for the community no every 3 days that we have in the week you decide education eba senior be ya mo be hu ne eko free 1 hour free consultation umpe we na opeden and afen so ye call yeah, nearby. Sorry, Sandra Fraser, Eddie, all the information required. Upe se ube contact BWF Solicitors. Ono so de abeto of fefe. Edos ye no akan. From na ko hu omo se ne atie bia. Yesi achia nanso embu ye. Ko na ko hu omo no mo ntenetene no. Emma Teresa Quran nyame nhira o si thanks la Eunice. Nyame nhira o pa. Na kweku tablet kweku February mpacho fache me why meni no on say me hu ni papa o penama no na ode aye Eunice obi asend me na ye can say questions bi wa ha sisi ya bo 10 half past pepe 10:30 nti no maybe a telephone lines no se na ebe ya ibenya enough callers abemu ntem na afede o motivate. So if you want to call Nana Kwadwo Brefo, your question. Wo question me hu ye. Suppose bi o mekan ama. Na wo na wa send e bi mo send question abre me directly on my phone. I will answer. I may be sending na ama mo. Okay, Nana Kwadwo question ni wa ha. Na telephone lines ni 0208-123-1016. 0208-123-1016. Ofre so a mejo so pepepe na wenya answer no. Sa so na obetumi so afre 073-9920-8468. Eno so ofre so a meji ajo so na waye. Sa so betumi so the voice note only. Odi begu WhatsApp number we so 075-96620-154. Mesa bosubium 075-96620-154. Odi voice note ne to so a mebo ama. Producer, pachofa Kwadwo question ne sa to mama na men kan Emma Eunice. Nana Kwadwo say, my question is, after downloading the app and completing the eVisa, do you always have to scan a barcode to access your eVisa? A barcode when you're free, and Nana Kwadwo, barcode to access your eVisa. A barcode no one now generate and I say to kwan na you can say scan your passport na.
I
He
think
mhm
obviously to say you're making, based
mhm
on your submission on mobile send
yeah
you email, you can
mhm
always use the link that was sent in your email, or
okay
when you go on the .gov.uk website and you type in um eVisa,
mhm
it should come up with you being able to sign in. Into once
mhm
you've signed in, it should come up with your
information
immigration status.
mhm
And see if you cannot find the link in your email,
mhm
then you have to go on the .gov.uk website and type in access to the e-visa. And once you put in your
ah
details, which is your biometric permit number, your name, your date of birth, um,
mm,
a best send a code to your phone, and then you can access it that way as well. But I mean,
um
using the link from your email no is easier.
it's
Yeah.
easier or see anytime bia obebie no saa na e ka kire ne say you can say scan your app. Whenever you open the app, it tells you to do that, to scan your barcode. Yo, and na lawyer Eunice, actually, mono. Mami bought sa voice note, okay, before I load it na ebebo no. Oh, be abem, okay. Mami mfa ni pakwa abem no. Hello, medofo. Me ma pick o call no. Pacha o kasa free, my ente wonka. Oh, hello. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've downloaded everything. I know say it was hectic,
Mm-hmm.
and like to add to the Unity, can anything there when you are doing at the you need a computer. So
Yes.
because soon to me a non power
Oh, phone so.
My question is like after completing everything, anything there now, maybe star UK
Mm-hmm.
some say what do you call it? Barcode, QR code,
Mm-hmm.
and I say connection code.
Mm.
And see, and then I'm person who say
No,
at
yeah,
the
dear.
immigration, say the immigration checkpoint, say they will
Mm.
always have that thing there so that the moment you scan it, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to, they will be able to access it.
Mm.
I think so. You're using the app without knowing what it's used for. So the app is only for the facial scan and photograph. Uri and Nana, you
Uh-huh.
don't need the app again. You
Again,
never
at
use
this.
the app again. So the app
Mm.
is just to scan your face and a photograph. Yes.
Once it's done, you don't need the app again. The app, no, you can still have it because sometimes I think say, was it yesterday? We're trying to apply for DBS for someone, and
Um,
there was that app check. No, be say either you download it and I say now they are yet. So internet app no there for eVisa no way we there and now in a way won't cost show eVisa no also but you can use it in future for any other identification purposes. Why? Mm, okay. Yeah, that's it. Yo. Member na ade na yenti la Eunice.
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Eunice. The Masnet Mamma on my name in Shamapa. My question here means what I made traffic from. Patro, now Uncle Bendy Babu said, it's a no more biometric cars or more issue, ABRC and BRP.
Mm.
Patro, if I saw you, a family member, and I say, when I set status now apply for status card, I got status now. Who apply a good card, they say, a more issue be from now, because it's first, a more issue be a man. That's the first question. Second question, and they say,
Mm-hmm.
Madam for a skill worker or a carer,
Mm.
or so what to say, is it Nico said, we a skill worker would do 5 years and someone in the floor apply.
Hey,
3 years,
hey,
yeah, put me up, and no minimum
hey.
because maybe say 5 years. Third one, but also first, Obanas over still visa now, let's only visa, let's 5 years. I want to me apply for British citizenship, but it's just 10 years, not good character requirement knock about. Now, we have to turn to July, as I say. Or me, you says, ultra 5 years now spending 1 year on your indefinite, which me apply. There's a room as well as it's there now, or that moment that's
Hey, where they were born a train one power. What kind of idea?
yes, I think so. We'll start with the last question to the first.
Okay, okay.
In regards
Mm.
to the last question, no, yes, unya will 5 years lawful residence now.
Mm-hmm.
Within that time, unya will indefinite now.
Mm.
After 12 months of having your indefinite leave to remain, you can
Mm-hmm.
naturalize as a British citizen. And see, that is
Mm.
still there. It hasn't changed. It's
Okay.
still there like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
the second question in regards to Nipana, why application for biometric. Say, no, no, no. Your second question.
And then
Um,
near first. Mm.
First one. Okay. So in regards to Nipa Corona wire application, no, and they have done their EU settlement scheme. Into
Mm-hmm.
when you do your EU settlement scheme, either say omode new card bro because old card no ewu.
Mm-hmm.
All the time when you do your application, some bro decision into if the person has applied for settled status because now first or pre-settled status, usually say, oh yeah, application not for settled status, they would usually bring you a biometric card in regards to SAR or new settled status. Here's the case that obviously we all know that the cards will be expiring on the 31st of December 2024. And they will still obviously grant you your card if the old card has expired. But the old card ni dear, do not expect a biometric card from them. Bro. Into that's in regards to that EU settlement application. I think so the second question was to do with the fact that Kaimi Bion Pacho.
Line is making kind of for. Oh, hold on. But me pushing forward kakrama. I should have written it. Okay.
good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Eunice. The Masnet Mamma on my name in Shamapa. My question here means something, what I made traffic from. Patro, now Uncle Bendy Babu said, it's a no more biometric cars or more issue. A card, they say, issue be from now because it's the issue be a man. That's the first question. Second question, they say, Madam for a skill worker or a carer, or so what I say, is it Nico said, we a skill worker, 5 years, someone in the floor apply. 3 years, yeah, put me up, and criminal because maybe say,
Uh-huh. But also
Part-time. So it's in regards to Nkrofua Omaba as skilled workers and whether they still need to have continuous qualifying period of 5 years and some now apply for indefinite.
mm,
Yes, they still need that 5 years qualifying
mm,
period. In
mm,
Brana and society,
yeah,
Oshreya, this skilled worker in regards to settlement, it
5 years.
still refers to that qualifying period of 5 years. Into say unya or 5 years ne dia patcho bebre. Men koye application be to say
Mm.
say 5 years
What
now
it? Watin no opeso be try hwe. Yo, obi gina homa ne so pacho eni wa odi message ni buy na lawyer answer onyina. Pacho dofo wa homa so ka se frame ente onka.
Pacho, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lawyer Eunice. Pacho, my question is say, by BRP, na uko renew na because uko renew into card and all the ama efficacy back. And no ubetimi aye eVisa na say what say we train Emma new one ba sana why eVisa.
Eye wo de wo card na akwa efficacy mu. Wo de ye de wo de renew bibi fufu wo de ye bibi.
Uko renew ukrata normally say uko ye biometric sa. Omutimije o card no.
Okay.
In this case no. So photocopy our BRP number anyway na. Ubetimi aye
eVisa na.
Say what say new one eba.
Okay, Lawyer Eunice, Pacho, the question simple.
Okay, so in regards to biometric cards, no, I know say usually it's after the application decision. Answer no will be for the biometric card. Unless you say why you rat card, no. That's when you are going to obviously report say what card na ayira.
When on yira or say or quack or renew ni card no. And or magic or my was so ko ye renewer na biometric no moji old one no enti no. And no na all can say or person ye eVisa na or so trainer fufro na wakwa ye renew man on embra and sana wa ye na so betimi aye so a copy of the old one na.
So while your replacement application for the biometric card Nadia, then she will have to wait for the new card to arrive. But most times they don't even collect the card. Omoje passport normal scanning, omoje biometric card normal scanning. So I'm not sure why they would collect the old one unless you are returning it because when you are sitting now. And she say if she's made an application for replacement, yeah, just a trainer almost the replacements never because she's already started. So they will definitely issue her the replacement card. Yeah.
Yo, so won't tears ye still I'll bet to me a try na mbia bibi foforo we chire na wait to me anyanti ase. Odofo wa ma so but pacho mami 1 second I mean kind me question back wa ha. See good morning manye. Pacho try me why me ba. Good morning manye lawyer. See my wife is arriving in the UK on the 6th of November as a British spouse. When can she register for eVisa on her arrival? Hey, where do you punk up and down there? My name Bedu Eunice. Onya Bedu ya no aye eVisa na so obibi oso ya answer.
And so by na so continue biometric permits. And usually once you've collected the biometric permits, then you can
do the
do
eVisa.
the eVisa. Yeah.
Sanet. Enti me nua be ma eno ane aka no obedu ya em say omama obe na wotwe bi say brabeji card no. Enti sa na wotwe na ube ji UK mframa ne kakra na afi de wakwa akwaji card no kwaji card ne ba ya obetimi ay application why mpacho dofo wa homa so me ente wonka.
Good morning.
Good morning, Papa.
Eunice, good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho, the question is regarding them say, we'll start here and not maintain me here, but actually, I'm a teacher of eVisa once.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just Obia or none area EU. Or put in the future. Also, say, oh, ye piana.
So on kita EU passport, right? Nti also ye bi why? Omo ye exempted ye omo kita passport no. Omo kita EU passport no. Yo manin chechemu la Eunice mpacho chechemu ho ma mbia na me nya no wrong.
Okay, international say obi biara or EU settlement scheme na say whether you are an EU national or EU family member, so or EU settlement scheme na say dia unhia eVisa no because wo the kind area no online into wo
Okay.
that eVisa ne deda.
Matintina me say be a me nya wrong, yeah.
Number two, Eunice, maybe just Obia, your friend saying, oh yeah, migration piano. I was already yet, sir, eVisa the baby boy.
Patron.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, yeah, that's Papa. Me who say what share me program no. Me who ye. Me who ye. Because me time o pa share ma misisi a. Enti share ni bebre ko Facebook ni so na share ma me. No I like so dia ma me why? Sa. Mom promote ye na enko echiri. Mate. Yo, yeah, that's it, Papa. Ye nimre. Ye be din komo echiri. Bye bye. Yo, mami kinka wenso na yenhwe. O say, Charles, Jimmy. No, minkai, Asante Bernard dear Nansa. Kofi upon we say thank the card is expiring on 31st of obia dear expire majority obia card expire 31st of can is in December. And my sis is married to EU member and has 5 years BRP. Is she and children part of eVisa? Send it. Or see my sis is EU member. Oh, okay, and has 5 years BRP. Is she and the children part of the eVisa? Eunice, omuka ho.
And see,
5 years. Not just our settled status.
They are not part of this.
Of it.
Because wait to me, your pre-settled status there. Who was that online immigration status record needed that in yeah.
And they can't sure. Just go online. Now you can see your status no online. There wasumado. Na fe we hu ne ose why? Asante Bernard, or say lawyer, good morning. I am the EU family member, visa 5 years route. My salary is more than 29,000. Can I marry and bring my husband and my son to the UK?
Okay.
Mhm.
I think say as Auntie Bernard is asking for a woman because I don't think say you know or ask a question no. But
Yes.
in regards to question now visa no,
Mm,
of course the ukra settled status and answer ukra indefinite leave to remain there.
mm,
You can go ahead and make an application for your husband to join you in the UK.
mhm,
Into those who are under pre-settled or leave to remain, you will not be able to bring your spouse. But if you
mm,
have settled status or indefinite leave to remain, you can bring your spouse and your child to the UK together.
Nti ọhọ no Eunice ọhọ na ebiom se eba ne sem bi a bibi nti no wo yare unye adwuma woda saa kwaku yi bi so na watna saa nso wenya dɔfo bi wɔ Ghana agya wo ne twe nkɔmɔ a wehu sɛ krakyi ana baba we obɛka me ho a enka me mpa so bɛyɛ hye kama ɛno saa no wobɛyɛ dɛn wogye bia wogye saa kwaku ɛyɛ friend sɛ universal credit yi bi wo mu a wonkɔ adwuma wote fie sɛ woyare ɛna de bia yɛde kwaku susɔ wɔ ano wobɛyɛ dɛn akɔware
It's obviously so ukita asitna to say yameka indefinite and now say settled status. Now oda avia universal credit so and public funds so it is not all public funds that will allow you to bring your spouse until you have to look at which ones will give you that exemption and I say give you a lesser requirement. Those who are usually on personal independent payments, and I said disability allowance, and that's some form of injury payment or allowance
Mm,
has to do
mm,
with injury or disability.
mm,
Almost say almost application I'm almost for abe join almost dear, then they
mm,
have a lesser requirement, which is to make sure someone be to maintain it or some hearing that. Ah,
mm,
but
mhm.
it's not everybody who is on universal credit who has access to this lesser requirements. It's very,
Mm.
yeah.
Da kura bɛka wo nsɛm obi de abɛdan me na me se kɔyɛ adwuma na na ɔno nso sɛ ɔntumi nyɛ adwuma la Eunice ma menkan wei na afei mema yɛ nuabaa Annie mbra no mfa pɔtɔ kasa ne mbra ɔse good morning please my question is can I change the father's detail can I change the father details on birth certificate with DNA test and is there no issues after doing that Emma de hunamani kwaish. Mpacho, the question ye.
I think it's very simple because I'm just thinking, what is the background to it? Is the child British, and now are you going to change the name of the father because now, let's say the father wants to make an application based on the child? What is the whole
Yeah,
background?
any assumption. One fancy any assumption. Me, my worry. Me ni obema wo. Na my koye beset no me ni kwesi mentim din ato so se me na wo ye. Embia na those time no. Edwa me ya me twitwa me ho nketenkete a me ma ne bebre ye taaye. Afei kwesi mentim na me na ehwa akwala na me hu sa akra na nyi na afei de o se kweku menta. Enti mesi kweku minta nso me ne na atwe mpena da enti we de mekɔhwɛ DNA kweku minta DNA enti sesi na kyerɛ sɛ akwala na menim sɛ kwesi mintim ba no kweku minta ba ɔwɔ DNA kyerɛ sɛ ɔno ane ba
Yeah.
obetuma abɛ claim ne ba one question anaasɛ birth cert na medi kan akɔyɛ a mede kwesi mintim ato so no metumi asan akɔ fie hɔ aka atwɔ mo sɛ da bi o kwesi mintim no me ne twe mpena deɛ nanso si a sɛ na kofi minta nso ɔbɛhwee so kakra no no mmom na akwaraa no yɛ ne dea enti no mesisa bɛset no din na ɛwɔ so as father no kwesi mintim na memfa kweku minta nto so mesrɛ wo sɛ wate me ase a ɛneɛ biribi saa na mema assuming sɛ saa na question ne teɛ
Okay. I mean, if it was as simple as that, of course, say when we say Kofi Minta and I yakola ne papa dia ube
Mhm,
to me DNA dia assistant birth certificate no to say Kofi
mhm,
Minta and I yakola ne papa. But
mhm,
she says, say, are there any consequences? Then it made me think, be a Kofi Minta is trying to rely on the child to make an application to
mhm,
reside in the
mhm,
UK. And see, if you are saying, say, Akolano, maybe through the previous father, let's
mhm,
say papa didi na ɛwɔ birth cert no so sisi ano
mhm,
no nti na akwadaa no ɛwɔ British citizenship nti ɛno no saa no wotwerɛ wɔ so sɛ because of Ebenezer no nti
mhm,
Ebenezer no ɛyɛ akwadaa no papa wogye passport no based on Ebenezer sisi a
mhm.
Kofi Mensah no ɛna wonim sɛ ɛyɛ akwadaa no papa nti wopɛ sɛ
DNA ni.
wosesa no
Mhm,
aha to show say or no and akwadaa ne papa. So on that basis, I know say your law no say under your British Nationality Act said na waware na wuknu na waware no and ya
mhm,
akwadaa ne papa crampo na or
mhm.
that's so akwadaa ne papa for the
Papa.
purposes of nationality. It's akwadaa
Mhm,
no will
mhm.
still be British because na waware sa nimpa no at the time. In say na waware no ne ba
Mm,
akwadaa no nti sɛ
mm,
na Ebenezer ɛwɔ settlement anaasɛ Ebenezer ekita British book a akwadaa no nso ebɛkura saa British book nti
mm,
wosesa edin no akyerɛ sɛ ebia Kofi Mintah no ɛna ɛyɛ akwadaa ne papa de a
mhm, mhm,
Kofi Mintah no ɔnkita
mhm.
asetena nti Kofi Mintah no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔnya
Na
asetena bi
akwaraa ne so. Mhm,
akwadaa no nti ɛno no saa no then you are saying sɛ Kofi Minta is the father of the child. The
mhm,
child is still British,
mhm,
but then you want to be able to now make the application based on the child. And also,
mhm.
Sano, you are going forward to put those details there so that the
Yeah.
father can rely on the child. Into that one
Mm,
is it's fine. Where, for instance, the mother wasn't married before
Mm-hmm.
she went to do the application, then that will create an issue because na nipa korɔ na other birth certificate no of akwadaa no na
Mm.
ɔnyɛ maame ne yere
Ne
ekunu
kunu.
anaasɛ
Mm-hmm.
was not the husband of the mother, then that
Mm-hmm.
will create issues in terms of Kofi Minta because Kofi Minta no
Mm.
ɔno nso
Ọbẹda so.
yes,
Hey.
the ultimate rely on saa akwadaa no because akwadaa
Mm.
no sisi a ne papa asesa nti ɔno nso n'asetena no will be in question.
Bẹsisa.
Yeah, yeah.
Nti consequences no yɛakyerɛkyerɛ two scenarios ne nyinaa de akyerɛw sɛ ɔbaa no aware anaa ɔnware yɛ. It's up to you. Now make a right decision. Emre no questions ni ba na eba, but let me pause here. Now me invite lawyer Annie Soa Akoto Soa na ononso for the English version of the explanation. I mean the topic that we've posed today, no, or my summary in the English in a bit mediama yenuanum no monte yen kasa no. Ti Annie, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Maniati. So the topic for today was, do I need a biometric residence permit to apply for an e-visa? And the answer is yes. So the Home Office, it's been now quite some time ago, but they informed us a while ago that from basically the 1st of January 2025, all biometric permits will basically be of no use. So if you have a biometric residence permit or a biometric residence card, you will note that the expiry date is the 31st of December this year, 2024, although your leave might not necessarily be expiring at the end of this year. So that's because from the 1st of January next year, e-visas will kind of take over. So what is an e-visa? An e-visa essentially is an online record of your immigration status. So instead of you showing an immigration officer or the border force your biometric residence permit when you're entering the country, you would show them your e-visa. So the e-visa, it will show a picture of yourself and it will state your leave, when it's valid from and when it will expire. So in order to get your e-visa, it's not an automatic thing. You have to actually go through a process. And again, this e-visa system is only for those who have biometric residence permits. So that means that those, for example, who have Ghanaian passports, you have to create an e-visa. Whilst if you are an EU national, let's say you're from Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, or you are a family member of an EU national and you're here based on them under the EU settlement scheme, then you wouldn't have to create an e-visa. So that is a very important distinction to make. And that's because those who are here under the EU settlement scheme, they already basically have an e-visa. They have an and they have a UKVI account. So as I said, the e-visa is just for those who have biometric residence permits. And in order to see whether that applies to you, if you just look at your card at the top, if it says permit, then you would have to create an e-visa. So in terms of the process, as I said, you have to create a UKVI account, which you can access online from the gov.uk website. You'd have to put in your personal details, your name, your date of birth, your location, your email address, your contact number, all of those informations. And then you have to also create, or rather fill out, complete an application form. And then you have to download an app which you can download from your Play Store or your App Store. And the app is called the UK Immigration ID Check. So that app would be used to scan your face, take a picture of yourself, and that is all part of the process. And once you have created the UKVI account, it will take some time for the Home Office to link your account to your e-visa. It can take them a week, 2 weeks, but once they have linked your UKVI account to your e-visa, they would send you a confirmation email that your eVisa is ready, and it's important that you use your biometric residence permit for the eVisa. So make sure that you do not use your passport. Today, we also looked at whether those who have a vignette in their passports, whether they have to create an e-visa, whether it's mandatory. And we have learned that it's not a mandatory for those who have vignettes in their passports. It's just for those who really have biometric residence permits. So if you have indefinite leave to remain and you don't have a card at the moment, you don't have a biometric residence permit, you only have a vignette or a wet ink in your passport, you can continue to rely on the ink in your passport to prove your right to remain in the UK or to rent in the UK or to work in the UK. So that is one option. Alternatively, if you want to create an e-visa, you can, but the first step is that you would have to complete a no time limit application in order to receive the biometric residence permit. And for that type of application, you'd have to prove that you have remained in the UK since you were granted indefinite leave to remain. So let's say you were granted indefinite leave to remain 10 years ago, then you'd have to prove that you have been residing in the UK for 10 years. So you'd provide official letters, GP letters, any type of letter, bank statements, pay slips to show your residence in the UK. And just to conclude, it's very important that everyone who has biometric residence permits, that you create your e-visa as soon as possible, because as I said, they are expiring at the end of this year, 31st of December 2024. And if you are traveling outside of the UK and let's say you enter next year, January, and you haven't created the e-visa, it can cause problems in terms of you showing that you have a right to enter the UK. And if you are creating your e-visa and you have any problems, you can reach out to certain organizations such as ILPA, which stands for Immigration Law Practitioners Association. They can report any problems that you have to the Home Office. And we too, we offer a free service to those who need help with setting up their e-visas. So that's a quick summary for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you to lawyer Annie. Tiefo MC aha na edi dwumedi no beba ewie na mmom two questions be Charles Jimmy ebisa membisa lawyer quickly now for the young put the curtain to a close. Say hi lawyer Eunice. So what would sorry what will be the case if lawyers like yourself are making application for client, the email to use for decision, if everything has to link to the e-visa account? Oh, then you okay, my lawyer, you need to answer, man, Pacho.
So there's no should I say issues with that, because so yeah, your application now, it has nothing to do with e-visa. It has nothing to
Mm,
do with UKVI account. So
mm,
once any lawyer or third party has completed the application on your behalf, it is your responsibility. The person who
mm,
has the leave to remain, it is your responsibility to
mm.
create the UKVI account with your own email, with
Email.
your own contact number. It has nothing to do with the lawyer whatsoever, because we're
Mm,
not doing anything to do with the e-visa
mm,
unless you come to us and say you want to create an e-visa. Then
mm,
we help you put in your own details, because the application has nothing to do with the e-visa. Those are two separate systems um in regards to that. It's not like the EU settlement scheme. So
mm,
you can go ahead and use your own contact details to create your own UKVI account. Yeah.
mm. Yeah. Last one. I'm not picking anyone's call. I say good morning. If your e-visa says your card has expired, but you have already submitted your application for ILR, can you still apply for DBS? Yeah, DBS, there's over to me. And I like, over to me.
I think some people feel that because it's not by entity, it will cause an issue. It shouldn't, because
DBS,
your
dear.
application not in time, dear, your leave is continuing as under Section 3C of your Immigration Act 1971. Until you don't need to worry about now making another let's say application to DBS in regards to stay. So, oh yeah, before we leave us, we I mean nipa chrono. Oh yeah, the application before and they leave everywhere until she has to
Oh,
go
yes.
ahead and do her DBS check. Yeah.
Sir, so be bisa divorce question be me who question, but Nana Kwejo Brefo money answer. Benjamin bisa divorce question be. Na answer no de man on me assume say I say can a Ghanaian marriage be divorced here in the UK without going back? And no chemu say wo buy no munya 1 year dia and you to me ye fie e de ba, but munya 1 year pe 12 months e kope no, you need to do it here. Inti enwanin answer Benjamin Markwe o
I think
answer no
in
wa
regards to Benjamin, one quick answer.
mhm mhm
The law in the UK is such that open so you divorce or chrome her, you
uh-huh
need to have been married for at least 1 year. So you
okay
can do the divorce here if you've been
mhm.
married for at least 1 year. But in
Ah
case of foreign divorces,
uh-huh
the should I say the mindset
mhm
behind that is that say wo ye Ghana ni o
mhm
say wo ye Ghana ni
mhm
wakotena Ghana into person ye divorce na, you can
mhm.
do it in Ghana even if the marriage was lived here in the UK. So
Mm,
if for instance me am many kwadwo worry ye
mm.
kwadwo akọ Ghana or say on me
Or
biom,
divorce me.
obetumi ayɛ wɔ Ghana, but he has to
Mm,
do it through a court process where
mm,
of it's official and
yeah.
it's competent body. And
Mm.
usually we say so you know at a high court and then you bring the divorce
Ɛwɔ
documents,
ha.
yeah, to the UK. Yeah.
Nti ọmụ a dodoɔ no a aba school workers bebree si ọmụ gya aware. Ọmụ baeɛ a ọmụ ware firi Ghana ọmụ baeɛ ọmụ betumi agya aware no wɔ ha. Anaa te sɛ ọmụ kɔgya wɔ fie. Ọmụ te ha.
If it hasn't
Ɛyɛ
reached the 1 year, no, they can't do it here in the
sɛ
UK.
ndu 1 year di a
Yeah,
ɔntumi nyɛ. Ba ọmụ nya 1 year. Na onya 1 year koraa na wopɛ sɛ ɔyɛ wɔ fie a ɛyɛ legal anaa
yeah,
ɔntumi
yeah,
nyɛ.
it's still legal. And until Namika says, Kojoko Fia, or still
No,
now,
no,
wait.
we kwadwonko fie. Ọmụ mmienu nyinaa wɔ ha. Ọmụ live more than 1 year. But still, ọmụ pɛ sɛ ọmụ divorce from home. Na yɛmfa divorce certificate no mbrɛ ọmụ. Is it possible that way?
They can still rely on that as long as they are able to say,
Mm,
the court in Ghana has jurisdiction to
mm.
process everything. So, yes,
Okay.
it will still be lawful.
Yo, la Eunice, ɛbɛda ase. Aha na ɛde adwumadie no ɛbɛ awieyɛ. Maame akasa akyɛ. Na meka sɛ 11 ne sharp. Nanso no, de bia question and answers no Emma more than that. Thank you so much for coming in today, and those of you who were able to stay with us from beginning till the end. And so nyame nhyira mo nyinaa. Na monkɔ so a I saw say some of you shared. Dodoɔ no nso so man share because esi a me monitor wo share bia na me hu. Nti mo a mo anhyɛ no nyame nhyira mo. Mo a mo share nso nyame nhyira mo nhyira mo. Na next time no mo nhyɛ na mo like page no na yɛnkɔ yɛnim ne nyinaa ɛboa yɛn why la Eunice ɛdɛn na odi begya yɛn anse asɔre akɔ.
I know said your topic now yeah can answer me was an interesting topic to people, and I know say for that's so a bisa hunsem, and I believe say going forward we have only about 2.5 months left before yeah
Best buy.
biometric has no ever phase it out into as much as possible in so embo hunde ro na at least in dodoɔ na will know say so to me switch it from almost biometric residence permit to an e-visa. It is a mandatory requirement that if you hold a biometric residence permit, you will have to now register onto the UK VI account and then hold an e-visa. It is a requirement. And see, as much as possible dodoɔ na no nso ɛmfa nsɛm no ɛnkɔ na obi biara a okita biometric residence permit no ɔnyɛ eVisa no, because by the 1st of January 2025 untumi yɛ wo eVisa a ho bɛhaw paa nti as much as possible no dodoɔ no nso ɛmfa message no ɛnkɔ na nkurɔfoɔ ɛnhu ɛno so sɛ sɛ sɛnea yɛka yɛn mo hia mboa a yɛwɔ ha BWF Solicitors. Your address is 4th floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London, N15 4NP. Opesa Frey and so your telephone number is 0208 493 7340. Mwetumi afrɛ na mbuke appointment abehuye.
Yo, la Eunice ebedasi 4NP the N15 4NP and then answer na client bi abehu me na ochre na address or see or omo 7 sisters na mo postcode near N15 4NP. Na me say is it Anna house or not see or see Emma house. I'm saying I know that place very well. Because I have a firm, a legal firm there called BWF. So yeah, I know them. They are really good. Hey, not just say yes, yeah, you're good and bad. La Eunice ebeda se the drona se ebeda mo nyina se ha na di dwumedi no bebewie media ne manyeti usham bebia na ofre manyeti ameje so have a lovely weekend ochna menya advert but ochna ye kwa kosa ye nua badan na obeto amayasa kame ho na bi yenko mo bia bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specializing in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, 7 Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.